Hey everyone, we're here today to do an overview of a new book that came out about pinball. It's called Coin-Op Carnival, and it was written by Ryan Claytor and Nick Baldridge. And they're two guys that are in the pinball hobby, and Ryan does a lot of the artwork within the pinball hobby. Nick writes a lot and also does a lot with pinball EMs, electromagnetic machines. He's actually created a bingo electromagnetic machine. He does podcasts all the time. And again, Ryan does like logos for pinball and stories and other kinds of artwork. So they're both pretty dominant in the hobby, and people know of the both of them in the hobby. So we're going to go through the book, kind of look at some of the artwork, the pages, the stories that are in this. And this book is mostly written for electromagnetic fans. I'm not a huge electromagnetic fan, but I respect them and I like to play them when I can. But the book actually kind of grabs you and brings you into that because, you know, the artwork is pretty stellar in the book. So let's kind of get to it. And we could talk about the book afterwards and stuff like that and some of the stories or whatever about it. But if we go to the inside here, again, this is like their logo and stuff like that. So again, everything is hand-drawn. There's no photography in this book or nothing. Everything is hand-drawn, and it looks really good, you know, with the artwork that Ryan has given to the book and stuff like that. So let's just kind of flip through some of the stories that are in the book and some of the stuff. So there's an introduction. There's a story about Wayne Neyens. And Wayne Neyens is, I believe he worked for Gottlieb. I believe he's like 100 years old now. He's made well over 150 games in his lifetime. So that's, I guess they do a whole interview with Wayne in this book. It talks about his history and stuff like that, and his life in the pinball hobby and performing and working and stuff like that. There's this game review, Space Pilot, Mystic Marble, game review by Nick, EM Tech Explained, a movie review, game review, another one like a featured game, and a coin return. I guess a question and answer part at the end of the book, the back of the book. But so kind of, again, let's go through it a little bit and check out the artwork and some of the stories and stuff like that. But let's go here. So again, this is all Ryan's artwork, all hand-drawn, all created by him. You know, a little story, I guess, about Ryan and Nick. So, you know, we kind of go through the whole book like that. Then we go through the interview with Wayne. And basically, again, all hand-drawn, very, like, cartoonish, which I really like. I actually have a degree in marketing, art, and design, but I do IT for a living. I don't know how that happened, but basically I did marketing, art, and design for about 5 or 6 years, and I kind of could respect the artwork where this is coming from because I worked in Quark Express and InDesign and Photoshop, and I still use them today to do some of my stuff that I do with my videos and stuff like that. So again, it's a whole like interview with Wayne, you know, about how he got into the pinball hobby and doing it for a career and everything he's done. So again, another little cartoon thing by Ryan. So again, you could see kind of Ryan has a style of artwork, which again is very cartoonish, very colorful, really cool artwork. It really draws you in and it really wants to make you read the book. And again, these guys, I believe, are going to do a 4-part series book on this stuff. So basically, this is the first one in their 4-edition series. So I guess 3 other ones will come out after this book. And I believe they're working on issue number 2 as we speak. So they're kind of delving into that pretty far. Stuff like that. So again, it's like all kinds of stories. So it's a really long interview with Wayne. And of course it has to be if the guy's been, you know, he's 100 years old and he's worked in the hobby forever. And he's created over 150 games. So there's a lot to talk about with him. So here's another thing, the Mystic Marvel. It's a game review by Nick. Again, it's all kind of like hand-drawn, really cool. They talk about that game in here. So again, it's more artwork. There's a lot of artwork in it. And here's another game review by Space Pilot. It's Space Pilot by Ryan. So that's like a little older arcade game, you know, that you fly like a spaceship around, like on one of those arms that kind of, you know, rock around that you used to play when you were a kid, if you're my age or older. But again, they always make it like seem. Ryan's artwork is very happy to me. It really like brings that out of all the artwork that I see. Now here's the EM Tech Explained. So basically they go over, of course Nick would talk about this because he's probably a pro at it. He could probably fix any kind of EM problem. So again, so Ryan detailed in his artwork how it's laid out and stuff like that, the details of like electromagnetics and stuff like that. So, you know, they both contribute a lot and do a really good job with Ryan's artwork and Nick's, you know, his knowledge and text that's in the book to talk about these different things. So it's really interesting, especially if you're an EM gearhead. It's really cool too. But even if you're not, again, I'm not a huge EM gearhead, but I really got drawn into this book by just the artwork and what was written about it to learn more about it. Like, why not? So also too, these guys are doing a 16-stop, 10-state tour for the book as well. And in the beginning and end of the video, I'll have those dates so you could like look at it. It's also on their website. I'll post all that on my YouTube video and my blog, stuff like that, links, so you could take a look. And also these guys are selling like some swag. They have a t-shirt you could buy from their site. They also have, I believe, it's like a lapel pin, and it's a logo like of the Coin-Op Carnival logo, which is this. So that's their logo that they created. So it's on the t-shirt and it's also on the lapel. I also have a link to that on my in the video and also on the blog. So again, you know, this is the book. A lot of like fun stuff in it. You could Xerox copy this. I wouldn't cut this out of my own book, but build like your own like mini pinball machine, like the papercraft section. Another one. That's the Space Pilot that they reviewed in here. So is this one. This is also the other pinball machine that they reviewed in the book that you can make a mini arcade machine and pinball machine out of. This is the question and answer portion of it. And this is also their tour of what they're doing today. And again, you could buy this book from their website. I think it's like $20 or $15. I think with shipping and all that, it's $20. But again, I'll have links to everything that you could buy. You could also buy artwork from Ryan. He had some original Coin-Op artwork that he's selling. I have a YouTube link I'll put on my blog and video too. So you could take a look at that if you want to buy some stuff. You could contact Ryan directly. But again, the artwork is stellar. It's really great artwork. And I look forward to the next 3 issues that they put out, because it looks really good. And you know, again, it's very, very happy artwork, I think, and the storylines and the storytelling in it is really stellar as well. So I commend both of these guys for making this book. It's really great, and I highly recommend it, especially if you are an EM fan or if you're not an EM fan. It's for, I think, everybody into the pinball hobby. So stay tuned. Let's look at their website really quick with their swag that you could buy, stuff like that, and the artwork you could buy from Ryan. And then that'll be the end of the video. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's take a look at their store that I mentioned in the video, where you could buy the book and some other stuff that they're selling, like the t-shirt and the lapel pin. So if you go to coinopcarnival.com/store, this will bring you to their store from their website. And, you know, you can buy the book. It's $15. I think it's $5 shipping, so it's like $20. You can buy a lapel pin. That's the $10. You know, looks like their logo from the book. Or you can buy a t-shirt with their logo on it as well. Everything looks really cool. You know, contribute to these guys for making the books and stuff like that. They don't make any money unless the sales of their book and all that. So maybe giving them a little more money, they could, you know, create more content or something like that. So if you click on the appearances, this is their tour guide for their tours of what they have upcoming. I have that in the video as well.
But again, you could look at it there. You could contact these two guys from here, from email. This is their address, I guess, to send stuff to if you wanted to. You could get Ryan or Nick, I guess, from this email. News, I guess they talk about some of the stops or some of the tours that they've done. They have some photos on their website, kind of cool to look at. Store we looked at in the about, it just talks about Nick and Ryan, about what they do, and Ryan's the artist, and draws for pinball stuff. His clients are Stern Pinball, Replay FX, Pinside, Papa, and Nick, he does the YAM stuff, the repairs, and writes a lot for the book and all that. So created the multi bingo pinball machine. So, and he does a lot of podcasts, I know, stuff too. He does podcasts quite often, actually. So then if you go here to this other website, this is a YouTube site that Ryan created. You could buy his artwork from here. So these are just some of the clips, but I'll put a link again on my blog, like for this YouTube video channel. But, it shows some of the artwork that he's created for the book that you could purchase. At the end, he talks about like how you could contact him through an email address. And you could purchase some of the artwork if you want to buy it and have it in your collection. So that's what you could do, and reach out to these guys to support them. So you could support me as well by going to www.pinballsupernova.com and clicking on any of the Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, my blog post channel, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'd be great. And thanks to everybody who has subscribed. And looking forward to making more content. So, until the next video. Thanks.